Barney money market account and wrote a check and said, let's get started. And I say all that to say that you never know when your opportunity is going to come. They say, man, most people got 1 or 2 opportunities in their life. You got to ask yourself, is this your first or is this your last? Right now. And I said to myself, even though in the beginning, at that moment, I didn't recognize that it was my opportunity. But the great part about it is it didn't take me long before I realized it. And one of the things that we did is when we got started, we started our journey. I will be, due to the sake of time, I can't tell that journey. But there's a lot of things that happen through that journey. We're going to go ahead and cue those slides for me. But when I say a lot of things happen in that journey, you know, I got fired from my good job. That's a whole other story by itself. And I'm telling you guys that because you better get prepared. The revolution will not be televised. You better get ready and prepare yourself. You're here for a reason. You're here to change your life. Don't take it for granted. And I think to myself, you know, when we were in Colorado, the Camila Cutler came and did a little thing on us where we did an interview and did some filming stuff for the upcoming ALC. And she asked me a question that I paused and I was on camera. She said, if you weren't in Primerica, what would you be doing? And I tried to come up with this answer, and I paused, Adrian, on tape. And I started to get emotional. And I said, man, can you, I said, we still rolling, can you cut that? Because I realized, cue that slide, I realized one more time that if I didn't do what I'm doing right now, if I didn't have the opportunity that I have right now, a lot of people would have died on the vine. See, somebody is going to die on the vine because they're waiting on you to make a decision. Amen. And you got to think to yourself, man, what's in it for me? Well, what's in it for me? And so what I want to do is I want to talk about what was in it for me. But instead of talking about it, I want to illustrate it. And I want to illustrate it through the eyes of my 7-year-old. So cue that slide for me. That's my baby. Miss Brooke Renee Colvin. My 7-year-old. Go ahead and cue the slide. She thinks she's a little princess. You can go back one. She thinks she's a little princess. And you know, in this particular situation, you know, I'm thinking to myself, man, if I didn't make that decision, you know, this was her birthday party, and she wanted to dress up like a little princess, and she wanted to have a princess party, and they dressed up, and it was all great. Get the next slide. They had great time, and we rented a stretch limousine, pink stretch limousine, and all the girls got a chance to get in the limousine, and they took a ride and watched, they was in South Carolina, they went through Ivan's neighborhood. If they was in Greensboro, they were going through John's neighborhood. And I'm thinking to myself, what if I didn't do it? Give me the next slide. She loves to ride horses. We live in Texas, so she loves horses. And give me the next slide. And one of the things that we're able to do is we're able to take her to go ride horses. Go to the ranch and ride horses. But what if I didn't do it? Give me the next slide. You know, we had an opportunity. The company sent us to Orlando in February, and this was so cool. This was so cool. Because my daughter had no idea where we were going. I told her that you're not going to school today, and but we got something special we gonna do. And we get in the car, and I had packed the car the night before, and we drove to the airport, and we got to the airport, and she, well, we're in parking lot, so she don't know we're at the airport yet. And I pop the trunk and pull out luggage. She's like, where we going? I'm like, baby, it's a surprise. We get to the airport, my wife, Lord bless her heart, we running behind, she won't stop and get something to eat. They calling us over the loudspeaker saying, Stephen, Mr. and Mrs. Coleman, please get to gate 43. We get to gate 43, and I say, is this the, I said, which Stephen and Mrs. Coleman? And I said, is this the right gate? She's like, yes, the gate to Orlando. And my daughter was like, man, to see the look on her face, but all I think about is what if I didn't do it? Give me the next slide. So we go and do, she dressed up. I used to think that stuff was weird. When people dress their kids up in princess outfits, I thought that was weird. Like, what are they doing? Well, they want to be a princess. Next slide. You know, man, we got a chance to go to all the parks. We went a few days early and went to all the parks and went to Cirque du Soleil. And I mean, I just had a great time with my baby. We had an opportunity to just whatever she wanted to do, whatever she wanted, it was that